Yes, let's keep Lightroom simple. If you think that editing landscape photography with Lightroom, it's a very complicated process and it's very long, this video is for you because we are going to work just with one panel, the basic panel, and we will try to edit a photo in less than 5 minutes. Welcome to my channel. Here I talk about photography and I also make videos just like this one where I share some editing tips. So if you're here for the first time, it might be a good idea to subscribe. This is part 2 of a mini series of 3 videos that I made to help you guys creating a very simple and easy to follow workflow to edit your landscape photography in Lightroom. If for any reason you missed part 1, I strongly recommend you to watch it first. It's right here and I will put a link in the description as well. Let's start the editing process. If you saw last week's video, part 1 of this mini-series, you know that I usually take care, first of all, of 5 adjustments that will prepare my raw file for editing. I did that already, so if you don't know what to do, go back to that video and check it out. Otherwise, if you're ready, we will start, of course, from the develop module. And as you can see, I already have opened the basic panel. Because today, my goal is to try to edit this photo in less than 5 minutes, just using one panel, the basic panel. Let's go. The very first thing that we do in the basic panel is to pick the right color profile. By default, Adobe Lightroom will give you the standard profile. You can see by clicking on the grid which are the different options available, and by hovering over you see the difference. I usually like to use either the landscape or the color profile. Let's go with the landscape profile. By the way, this photo is taken in Iceland. This is the 𝗬𝗎𝗪, I'm not sure about the pronunciation. This is a very interesting rock formation that is in the northwest of Iceland. I'm here just before sunset. Unfortunately, I don't have a fantastic light. Nevertheless, I use the 10 stops ND filter to have this 179 seconds long exposure. F16, ISO 200, and I used F16 rather than the usual F8 or F11 because I'm very, very close to these rocks in the foreground and I wanted to make sure that they were in focus. And because I used a neutral density filter, in this case is the Lee filter's big stopper, so it's 10 stops of neutral density filter, the image has a blue cast. So a very important thing we need to do is to make sure to get the right white balance. To do so, I will actually open the left panel, because when I pick the target tool and I go to search for my neutral target, I can see a preview in the left corner to see if that will actually correspond to what I saw when I took the photo. And you want to make sure to pick either a gray, a black, or a white, pure black, pure white, in order to make sure that you have the right white balance. Let's go for this one. Looks good. I will keep it. And now I can close the left panel. Before we move on, I want to point out at the histogram. As you can see, I have a lot of details on the right. If you saw my video about exposing to the right, this will guarantee that even when I bring up the shadows, I will not increase the noise of this long exposure. Although this histogram looks good, I want to expand it to the maximum. And to do so, I will hold the Shift key, double-click on white, and double-click on black. And so the whites and the blacks of the images will be extended to the limit without clipping the 0 and the 100 value. In this way I have the widest histogram possible, and now I can work with my highlights, and I will decrease the highlights a little bit. I will increase the shadows, and here looks good, and I will increase my contrast. Now that the tone and the exposure of the picture looks the way I like, I will go and work in the colors. And here in the bottom of the basic panel we'll find the clarity, which I will increase just a tiny bit. The clarity is the contrast of the mid-tones, so just don't go crazy with it. You see, if I go to 100, this image looks completely surreal, but just adding a little bit, it's fine. I will not touch the dehaze for this picture, and instead I will increase the vibrance, and the vibrance is the saturation of the most muted colors, while the saturation will increase the saturation to every single color at the same time. And I will actually add a little saturation right now. We can see the before and after. As you can see, just using the basic panel and a lot less than 5 minutes, we could dramatically change the raw file we start with. But you did see the thumbnail, which I will show it right now. It looks different, right? This image stands out more. It has more characters. I would say it pops. And this is exactly what we are going to talk about next week. In fact, the last video of this Lightroom editing mini-series is dedicated to how make your images pop. Also, if you like to be challenged, I encourage you to watch next week's video. As in that video, I'm going to suggest a photo edit assignment, a photo edit challenge that will push you to use all the tips and techniques that I've been sharing in these 3 videos. I'm really curious to see the results, especially to understand if these videos are actually effective. And this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope these videos are useful for you. And if they are, I'll be very happy if you can like this video, share it with your friends. Of course, leave me a comment and subscribe if you didn't yet. But if you did subscribe, you can actually hit the bell in order to get notifications every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.